Bath produced a stunning second-half comeback to defeat Saracens 31-22 in a gripping Investec Champions Cup clash at the recreation ground, overturning a first-half deficit with a display of resilience, power, and attacking brilliance that reignited their European ambitions. A tale of two halves at the Rec for 40 minutes. It looked as though Saracens were on course to deliver another crushing blow to Bath on their own turf. The visitors dominated virtually every aspect of the contest in the opening period: set piece, breakdown, territory, and physicality, leaving the home side rattled and scoreless at halftime for the first time in 4 years. But what followed after the break was a transformation few inside the Rec could have predicted, inspired by a fiery halftime message from head coach Johann van Graan. Bath returned to the field with renewed purpose. Urged to abandon fear and trust their identity, the blue, black and whites delivered a second-half masterclass, scoring 5 tries and completely flipping the narrative of the match. Their reward is a home quarter-final against Northampton Saints, but the manner of this victory, dramatic, hard-fought, and emotionally charged, will be remembered as one of their finest European performances in recent years. Saracens strike first and dominate early. The opening exchanges were all about Saracens, who arrived in Bath determined to atone for their humiliating 62-15 Premiership defeat at the same venue just weeks earlier. From the outset, they looked sharper, more aggressive, and tactically superior. Led by the inspirational Maro Itoje, Saracens imposed themselves physically, particularly at the set piece. Their scrum dismantled Bath's front row, earning repeated penalties and establishing a platform from which they could control territory and tempo. Scrum half Charlie Bracken opened the scoring with a clever solo try, dummying a pass before darting through a gap to touchdown. It was a moment of sharp thinking that encapsulated Saracens' early dominance. Further tries from Max Malins and Noah Kalyorai extended their lead, while Bath struggled to find any rhythm or cohesion. Playing into the wind, the hosts found themselves pinned in their own half, unable to relieve pressure or generate meaningful attacking opportunities. By halftime, Saracens held a deserved lead, and Bath looked a shadow of the team that had been so formidable at home throughout the season. Van Graan's rallying cry halftime proved to be the turning point, not just tactically, but emotionally. Van Graan's message was simple yet powerful: abandon fear and play with freedom. It was a call to arms that resonated deeply with his players, who emerged from the dressing room with a completely different mindset. Suddenly, the hesitancy that had plagued their first-half performance was gone, replaced by confidence, aggression, and clarity of purpose. 2 key changes also shaped the second half. The introduction of Thomas du Toit at tight head prop provided immediate stability to a struggling scrum, while a refereeing change, following an injury to Nika Amashukali, altered the interpretation of the set-piece battle. These shifts combined to level the playing field and, ultimately, tilted in Bath's favor. Thomas the Tank leads the charge. Du Toit's impact cannot be overstated. Where Bath had been overpowered in the scrum during the first half, they now found themselves on the front foot. His presence brought both physical dominance and psychological belief, allowing Bath to regain control of the set piece. Alongside him, Bino Obano and Francois Van Wyk contributed to a resurgent forward effort that began to push Saracens backwards. With a solid platform finally in place, Bath's backs came alive. Henry Arundell was among the first to capitalize, slicing through the defense with a perfectly timed line to score. Moments later, Joe Cokanasiga powered over on the opposite flank, showcasing his trademark strength and finishing ability. The momentum had shifted decisively. The once dominant Saracens pack was now under pressure, and Bath were playing with a freedom and intensity that had been absent before the break. Spencer's moment of magic. If there was a single moment that encapsulated Bath's resurgence, it was the breathtaking length of the field try finished by captain Ben Spencer. The move began deep inside Bath's own half, following a crucial defensive stand. Saracens had come agonizingly close to scoring again, only for a heroic tackle to dislodge the ball at the last moment. What followed was a sequence of instinctive, high-tempo rugby. Finn Russell, with his back to the play, produced an audacious offload to keep the move alive. The ball passed through multiple hands before reaching Spencer, who sprinted clear to score against his former club. It was a moment rich in narrative. Spencer had spent nearly a decade at Saracens, winning multiple domestic and European titles. To deliver such a decisive blow against his old team added an extra layer of drama to an already thrilling contest. Saracens show fight but fall short. To their credit, Saracens refused to capitulate. Unlike their previous visit to Bath, where they were overwhelmed in the second half, this time they continued to fight until the final whistle. Players like Tom Willis and Itoge led from the front, carrying hard and defending resolutely. Their commitment and resilience ensured that Bath never had the luxury of easing off. However, the momentum Bath had built proved too much to overcome. The hosts continued to find gaps, with Ollie Lawrence adding another try to extend their lead. Although Saracens managed to add points late on, the outcome was no longer in doubt. Bath had seized control of the match and were not about to relinquish it. Lessons for both sides. For Bath, this victory is both a triumph and a warning. Their second-half performance demonstrated their potential to compete with the very best in Europe, but their first-half struggles highlighted vulnerabilities that could prove costly against stronger opposition. Van Graan will be particularly concerned about the inconsistency between halves. Against a team like Northampton Saints, such lapses may not be recoverable. For Saracens, the defeat is bittersweet. While they showed significant improvement from their previous outing at the Rec, they ultimately fell short when it mattered most. Their first-half dominance was impressive, but their inability to maintain that level allowed Bath back into the game. Still, there are positives to take. The renewed intensity, discipline, and fight suggest that Saracens are moving in the right direction. Even if the result did not go their way, the road ahead. Bath's reward for this dramatic victory is a quarter-final showdown with Northampton Saints, a team that has already demonstrated its ability to win at the Rec in emphatic fashion. That previous encounter, in which Northampton scored 27 unanswered second-half points, will not have been forgotten. It serves as a reminder of the challenge that lies ahead, that if Bath are to progress further in the competition, they will need to produce a complete performance, one that combines the intensity of their second half against Saracens with greater consistency and discipline from the outset. A statement victory. Ultimately, this was more than just a win for Bath. It was a statement of intent, a demonstration of their resilience, depth, and ability to rise to the occasion when it matters most. From a scoreless first half to a 5-try second half explosion, they showcased the full spectrum of their capabilities. The contributions of players like Toit, Spencer, Arundell, and Cokanasiga highlighted the strength of their squad, while Van Graan's leadership proved instrumental in orchestrating the turnaround. For the fans at the Rec, it was an unforgettable night, a reminder of why knockout rugby holds such a special place in the sport. And as Bath prepare for the next of their European journey, one thing is clear: if they can harness the spirit and quality they showed in that remarkable second half, they will be a formidable force for any opponent.